All right, so AI, it feels like it's everywhere, right? I mean, look around. Our smart speakers, our phones, even things like ChatGPT. AI is like our new BFF, whether we like it or not. But here's the thing that kind of keeps me up at night. What if all this AI is actually messing with our brains? What if it's like rewiring us, but not in a good way? That's what we're going to dig into in this deep dive. So, like, think about it. When was the last time you really like wrestled with a problem? Before just Googling it, or try to memorize something when your phone can just do it for you. It's almost like we're getting kind of lazy, letting our brains take a back seat. Now, look, I'm not saying AI is some evil plot to turn us all into zombies. It's obviously super powerful and it can do some pretty amazing stuff. But like any tool, it's all about how we use it right. The thing that really gets to me is this whole idea of cognitive offloading. It's like we're handing over some of our brain power to these AI systems, which sounds pretty sweet at first. Like, who wouldn't want a little extra help? But what if we offload too much? Does our ability to think critically and creatively, those things that make us human, does that start to fade away? That's what's got me hooked on this whole topic. I've been reading some research, and it suggests that using AI a lot, especially for younger people, like those who've grown up with it their whole lives, it might be impacting how their brains develop. And we're not just talking about forgetting little facts here and there. It could be affecting those higher level thinking skills, the ones we need for problem solving, decision making, even navigating all those crazy social situations we deal with every day. Kind of a big deal, right? We need to unpack this and figure out what's really going on here. Okay, so I was reading this study and it looked at how using AI writing tools, like those things that help you write essays and stuff, how those affected students' writing. And the results were kind of wild. The students who used the AI a lot, their essays were grammatically perfect, like no typos, no weird sentences, and they flowed really well. But when you looked at the actual arguments, the critical thinking part, that's where things fell apart. It was like their ability to really dig into the material and come up with their own ideas. It just wasn't there. Like they'd lost that spark. And it's not just about essays, right? Think about all the decisions we make every day. If we're always turning to algorithms and AI to tell us what to do, what to buy, who to date, are we losing that ability to think for ourselves, to weigh different options, look at the information, and make our own choices? Choices that are based on what we believe and what we want. It's like anything else. If you don't use it, you lose it. But in this case, what we might be losing is our ability to think critically. That mental sharpness that helps us deal with the world, that's getting more and more complicated every day. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should all ditch AI and go live in a cave. It's not realistic. And let's be honest, AI can be pretty awesome. But it's about finding that balance, that sweet spot where we use AI to make us better, not to replace us. Imagine a world where AI helps us process information faster, so we can free up our brains to focus on the really important stuff, like creative problem solving, coming up with new ideas, that kind of deep thinking that early humans can do. That's the potential I see in this whole AI thing. Not about AI taking over. It's about AI helping us reach our full potential. So where do we go from here? How do we make sure AI doesn't turn us into, mindless robots? I think the first step is just being aware, like noticing when we're relying on AI a little too much and making a choice to use our own brains, to actually think things through, even if it's harder. It's kind of like choosing to take the stairs instead of the elevator. Sure, the elevator's easy, but those stairs give you a little workout, right? Same thing with our brains when we force ourselves to solve a problem or come up with ideas without AI holding our hand, or even just memorize something simple like a phone number. It's like a mental workout. It keeps our brains sharp. Now, again, I'm not saying we need to throw our phones out the window. AI is a tool, and it can be a really powerful one, but we need to be the ones in control. We need to make sure it's helping us, not the other way around. So maybe it's using AI to help us organize information, but then we take that information and actually analyze it ourselves. Or maybe we use AI to get different perspectives on a problem, to kind of jumpstart our own creative thinking. The important thing is to remember that we're still in charge. AI is a tool, and we get to decide how we use it, how it fits into our lives, and how it helps us become the best versions of ourselves. So the next time you're about to ask your AI assistant for help, just take a second and think, is this something I can figure out on my own? Could this be a chance to challenge myself, to keep my brain active and engaged? Because in a world where AI is everywhere, the most important thing we have is our ability to think for ourselves, to be creative, to be critical thinkers. And that's something worth fighting for. That's something we need to protect. So let's make sure AI helps us do that. Let's use it to unlock our potential, not to limit it. That's all for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.